The City of Worcester has a goal to be the best managed city in the country, and the city is working on a plan to get there. It's called the Strategic Plan. My name's Tom Matthews, and on this episode of The Buzz, I'll be talking to the city manager to find out what the city's strategic plan is all about. All right, today, Mr. Manager, we are talking about the city's new 5-year strategic plan. First things first, what is a strategic plan?
And so our strategic plan is a roadmap. It's a guidebook to try to identify areas that we need to make improvements. There's a lot of areas that in municipal government, a lot of operations, a lot of day-to-day services that we provide to the community. And we want to make sure that we have a roadmap that outlines a set of goals and objectives to achieve that. But also a strategic plan really identifies and defines what the mission and vision of a municipal government is, and how important that is in terms of setting values that govern the day-to-day services and operations of municipal government.
All right, so why was it important for you to implement a new strategic plan for the city?
Every organization, including a municipality, oftentimes takes a step back, especially when there's turnover in leadership, to really reflect on what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses, and what are some opportunities in which we could be able to excel in, and then develops a strategy or a plan that creates a roadmap to be able to achieve some of those goals and objectives that we want to achieve.
All right, Mr. Manager, you mentioned goals and objectives. What are some of the goals and objectives the city's looking to achieve in this new plan?
Yeah, there's a number of priority areas that we're focused on here in the city. But these priority areas, there's about 6 priority areas. One is public health and safety. The other one is affordable neighborhoods and reducing homelessness, investment in quality education, clean city initiatives, high-performing government, and also economic growth. These are the areas that we're prioritizing based on the feedback and information that we've received from the public. And these are the areas that we're going to set a series of goals and objectives to be able to achieve these priority areas.
All right, you mentioned that the community played a part in this, the feedback you get from the community. How did you go about soliciting that input?
It was a combination of many different avenues. We conducted a survey. We also hired a consultant to do focus groups. We utilized a lot of the data already in multiple plans that engage many different residents, whether it was the Worcester Now, Worcester Next plan, the Green Worcester plan, the cultural plan, the mobility plan, etc. We use a lot of that information to guide this document. There's been a lot of input from residents at many different levels. And so one of the things that we did is we engaged different stakeholder groups in conversations to get their input and some of the information and goals and objectives that were established.
I was reading the plan and I saw one part that said the plan itself is supposed to be a compass for empathy and compassion. What did you mean by that?
When we set out to establish the strategic plan, we talked about kind of the situations and the sentiment of what was happening in our community. And there was so much. There's families that are being impacted by violence, opiate addiction in our city. We have an increased number of homelessness. We have housing instability. Our housing prices are up. We also have inflation that's impacting people's ability to buy groceries, etc. Residents are being impacted by that. And so whatever we decided to create, any goals and objectives and strategies that we want to move forward, they need to be centered around the people that we serve. And it's not just simply about policies and strict operations, etc. It's also looking and being compassionate about who we serve in the city. Because then that leads us to deliver quality service, but do it in a way that you're thinking about the resident and not about the system or the process in which we created.
All right, so the city already has a lot of plans. People watching might be like, whoa, all right, another plan. We got the Green Worcester plan, the Worcester Now Next plan, the strategic plan now. So how does this fit into all of those other plans?
Yeah, so each one of those plans have a specific focus. Whether it's the Green Worcester plan about green infrastructure, about sustainability, resiliency in the city is very specific. The Worcester Now, Worcester Next looks at our built environment and some of the zoning policies and land use, etc. Transportation plan looks at transportation infrastructure. The strategic plan is trying to put all those together and inform the city of how we're taking all of these plans and creating a roadmap. Like I keep saying, a roadmap in terms of how to guide the vision to be the best managed city. yes, we have all these plans with goals and objectives, but they need to be properly managed. And so the strategic plan is the document that allows us to put that together, comprise that together, and then manage that so that we can then achieve the overall vision.
All right, so how long is this plan? How thorough is it?
Yeah, so the document is a lengthy document. There's a lot of great information there, and our goal is in the next 5 years reevaluate it. It's not just about the time, it's about that it becomes a fluid document. As things adapt and things change, the plan also adapts and changes with it. It's not a static plan, it's not intended to be a static plan, and so things will change and adapt as we move forward, understanding and knowing that there's factors that implicate some of those changes.
How are you going to make sure that those goals and objectives are followed up within each department in the city?
Yeah, we've created a tracker. My experience in working in strategic plans, if you don't have a plan of attack of how you're going to implement these goals and objectives and be able to track them appropriately, then you don't tend to be successful. We created a tracker. We've assigned specific goals and objectives to specific departments and divisions so that they can be able to follow through, and we'd be able to then keep them accountable on the work and the status of it. And so that tracker is going to help us and not only inform us, but also inform the public of where we're at within those goals and objectives that we're set out to achieve within the next 5 years.
That's great. All right, well, thank you, Mr. Manager, for giving us an overview of the strategic plan, and thank you for tuning in. As always, make sure to give us a follow on social media. Head on over to WorcesterMA.gov to read the plan and find out everything else that's happening in the city.